Well, hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to FIPP Asia, great to see you all here. And I'm very lucky today in that it's not very often that you get to interview not only one of your colleagues in the industry, but a friend as well. So a big welcome to Parry, and many thanks for coming here today, coming on stage and tell everybody about Bloomberg and Bloomberg's transformation program. The theme of today really is transformation. And it's really good to just start by talking about what the drivers are of transformation for you at Bloomberg, both in the kind of domestic and the US but international, your major areas of focus. And really, I think the key thing is what are the trends that you guys saw coming down the track, just led you to think, okay, we need to transform.
I think to start with, first of all, I wanted to say I was hugely enthralled by Axel Springer, and we're big. All of us are big fans of what they've done.
It's good that you say that about the FIPP chairman. You know,
and I have to say we've seen them transform it and do great things in digital. So we're all big fans of this. But I think we are a pretty unique company. Those of you who know Bloomberg, we are a fairly unique company. We are a very large media company sitting inside an even larger behemoth in some ways in the financial and technology field, owned by really one of our largest shareholder and really the man behind it all is Michael Bloomberg. Obviously the names comes from him. And then Bloomberg Media started out as an extension of the main core business, as a core terminal business, and it sort of became so large that we kind of transformed it into a proper media business about 8 to 9 years back. So we are one of the largest of our in our space, and certainly the most multi-platform. We are on pretty much every platform, from magazines all the way to digital. Of course, our digital being our largest business. But like Ralph said, I think about 10 years ago, even less, 8 years ago, we would have counted digital as a very, very small part of our revenue base. In fact, television, I would say television, publishing, television was our largest business. But about 3-4 years back, it was about 3 years back where 4 years back where digital crossed television as the largest revenue for us. And now it's many times larger.
Is it a profit driver as well? Or is it
yes, it's a huge profit driver. I think TV is a costly business. So is publishing, as everyone is in publishing is. But I think to change that and transform that into a hugely successful digital business took us a while. But at the same time, actually, I think it was fruitful in the overall. And in the space that we are in, I mean, I think Ralph showed a slide of us in there, but we were comparatively late entrants to that compared to all of our peers, whether it's Wall Street Journal or any one of them. And we are more multi-platform and larger in some ways than they are. And actually for us to turn that around and make a huge digital business was quite a transformation.
That sounds like it's all come from within the business as well. You've not gone out and bought stuff.
No, I think...
you don't have Ringy Axel Springer's money in it. Maybe Michael Bloomberg does.
Well, I think money has never been a problem for us. But it's more, I think we tend to, our natural tendency is to build it out on our own. There are, don't get me wrong, I think there are markets we do joint ventures in, we do partnerships in. There are people we would like to, there are markets where we know we don't have enough depth in. Maybe it's Germany with Axel Springer, I don't know, someday. But I think in India we have done partnerships with we have done a joint venture there. We've held a fairly significant stake there and done some interesting things. So yeah, but our tendency, if we can, is to build it ourselves, and most of it we build it ourselves. So what you see with the television business from scratch, or our digital business, radio. We have made a couple of acquisitions. Business Week was one of them. Business Week was a huge acquisition for us, and turning that business around when we took it over was a significant change for us, and turning that into a digital business was even more significant. So I think we make. I don't think I want to say blanket that we will not make acquisitions, but we tend to try not to, and we'd rather build it up if we can.
And obviously a lot of this transformation program is driven by technology and awareness of what's happening in the technology space. I know that you guys have experimented with voice and smart speakers, for example. I wonder if you could just give us some examples of where technology is impacting your business and what you're doing about it in terms of products.
Bloomberg's quite lucky in the sense that if you really boil us down to our basics, we're a technology company. We have more R&D researchers working on pretty much all our products than anyone else that I can think of. And because of that, we kind of always kept the innovation cycle we've always been ahead of the innovation cycle in pretty much every part of it. So I think to answer specifically, we have pretty much experimented with every one of the platforms that we can think of. I think Apple TV, we were the first ones to go on it, created a specific product for that. We just recently launched a joint venture, a joint project with Twitter called TikTok, which is really combining, which is really our idea was based on attacking misinformation, and certainly in the business and news space, but we went a little further. It's actually, TikTok is the first product that we have got into where we are not only in business news. We are actually it's a slightly broader product. And the idea is to really be able to use our verification, our credibility, and on top of Twitter's speed, and kind of make it more accountable in some ways. So,
I was going to say, is that something you could see yourself doing more of, diversifying into different verticals? Because you have got the brand, and you see other media companies doing that, trying to get into luxury publishing or cars or complementary spaces. Is that something you could see doing?
Yes, I think TikTok was a big step for us to kind of change. TikTok was about creating something for the social media sphere, moving away from kind of not thinking about it in the ways we would think of television, because it was really creating a breaking news platform, a breaking news network on the breaking news platform of the world, and actually bringing the accountability and credibility that come with it. So yeah, I think this was the first step, and it's actually a very highly profitable first step. So we think that this is the first step in experimenting with something like that. But even smart speakers, we're doing a lot of experimentation with voice, a lot of experimentation with AR. As you know, business news is slightly better with AR than VR. So we've been experimenting with a lot of technology across the board, and to be frank, that's what's going to, staying ahead on technology is what's going to really matter in the next few years. Even the way we think of advertising as ad experiences is changed quite dramatically for all of us, whether it's in digital specifically, you can target the way you want to. And that's kind of really made us look at pretty much the whole business model afresh, if you will.
I want to dive deeply into one aspect of technology which is related to something that Ralph mentioned actually. Put up this paywall, very successful, getting people to pay for content. We see this as an emerging trend in a lot of sectors, especially in news, but now increasingly in Latin. Bloomberg has been experimenting with a paywall. How is the experiment going? Is this something you're going to continue with? Do you see a paywall being an integral part of the business in the future?
Well, we went behind a paywall about 4 to 5 months back. It's no more an experiment, that is the reality we are going to be in. We experimented with it for about 6 to 8 months. Actually, we put Business Week behind a paywall first. It was really a learning for us to try and see if that kind of premium content is something that people will have some appetite for. And I think that was a great experiment that led us to actually putting Bloomberg.com behind paywall. It's more than exceeded our expectations. It's 3 times what we forecast. We were already there in the first 5 months. Something that we forecast for a year, we've actually well exceeded. I think subscription is the way forward. I think the dangers of subscription is subscription fatigue. You could very easily spend $100 a month without even thinking about it because you're kind of swiping it on your card. And I think that's the danger of that. So you've got to have, your content has to be unique enough, strong enough, unique enough, and people would need people should need it, not want it enough to actually make sure that you kind of those subscribers stick with you. I think that's going to be right now. Everyone's kind of moved everything behind a paywall, hoping that everyone kind of subscribes to it. But I think the uniqueness of the content and the need for the content is going to define whether that's successful or not. At the moment, we can say quite proudly that it's an amazing start for us.
Let's just move on to kind of the core of your business, which is international, and obviously very relevant for this group as well. Can you just talk a bit around how that has been an important driver of transformation, of diversification for you, the kind of markets you're in now, your perspective on the Chinese market, and kind of where you see the next kind of wave of expansion for you guys?
I think a good part of our experimentation is global. It's no more, we're not thinking of, certainly the product side, we're not really looking at doing it in the US and then experimenting and trying elsewhere. What we're doing now is just rolling it out in different parts of the world, and in some markets actually experimenting slightly differently from what we are doing in other markets. I think Africa is a good example. We are right now looking at doing some different things. We very similar to actually look at it as a very, very important market where we can experiment. India, we launched something in India. We actually tried something with WhatsApp, which we have never tried before, and it's actually driving almost a third of our traffic there. So yeah, we're kind of looking at each of these markets and saying, what can we do there technologically, from a business model point of view, and actually be able to grow it. There are some we own on our own, like in Japan, we have our own digital properties. It's a highly lucrative market. There are some where we have partnered others to actually to grow those businesses. I think India is one of them where we partnered Canada. We have one Spanish in Mexico. And we just announced a big one in the Middle East with SRMG, which is the largest media player. So, and that's a multi-platform products that we're planning to launch. So we look at it, these are both lucrative as well as from an expansion point of view, getting the brand out there a lot more. And I think we're better placed than most media companies because of the nature of our business, the nature of the backbone of our business. The Bloomberg terminal business is very global. In fact, a good part of the revenue of the Bloomberg terminal now sits outside the US. In fact, it's larger outside the US than even in the US, and it continues to be the largest driving force. China being a big part of that. We'd all agree that China is the largest untapped market for most of us, and we think there's a huge appetite for content, for our kind of content, that's business and finance. That's in China, and we've just started doing that. We syndicate a lot in the market, but we don't have our own products yet. But we hope that that's the next step for us.
A big theme for all of our conferences over the last year has been people and culture and skills, because when you talk about transformation, when you talk about expansion, that brings with it the need to bring new skills into the company. I heard the statistic of 90% of the people being new at Axel Springer. How have your people at Bloomberg had to change as a result of all of the transformation that you've gone through in a very short space of time from the sound? And in particular, what new skills are you seeing coming into your business that perhaps weren't there before?
I mean, very similarly, I don't think the stats are as large as Axel Springer's, but I think certainly in our case, a big chunk of a big proportion of our staff are actually have changed in the last few years. I would say reskilling and rehiring. So reskilling, we've gone through a fairly large exercise to reskill. We were again a bit lucky in the sense that the Bloomberg terminal business is fairly digital, is fairly similar to the digital business in at least the backbone, which always has been. And always has been. It was, in some ways, we always say it's the original and the most successful payment platform in the world, subscription business in the world, because I don't think anyone pays $25,000 per subscription anywhere else in the world. So I think that kind of gave us a sort of backbone to build on, and that allowed us to actually to restaff and reskill a little bit. We had to hire from outside. I mean, I can tell you that many of us, including myself, came from outside because we came from varied media fields to create a larger media business. My boss, Justin Smith, who I reported to, he joined from the Atlantic, where he founded Quartz. And for him to come and turn this around and turn this into a pure digital business meant hiring a lot of people who could actually turn that around. So it's a combination, I would say it's a combination of reskilling and rehiring. It's a slightly easier for Bloomberg than for others it has been. But I completely agree. I think if the workforce does not evolve and if they don't change the way they've been looking at each one of these products and look at it kind of platform agnostically, I think you just cannot change. I mean, even TV. I mean, I come from the TV world and the digital world, and TV we have seen a huge transformation in the way we are thinking. We don't really care where it sits anymore, and I think that's a big change in thinking.
Very neutral in terms of distribution.
Very
focused on content, and you don't really mind how it gets out.
Oh, that's actually philosophically the biggest difference, because we don't have. I think we are ready to break our legacy models, legacy business models. We are not. If you're talking television, we are not really wedded to one television model. If it's in digital, we're not wedded to one model. We are ready to experiment and take it where it goes. So I think that gives us a huge flexibility. And of course, we think we are a private company, privately held. We can take pretty long-term views compared to other companies. So we don't have to think quarter to quarter, and that's helped us enormously.
Would that be your kind of overriding message for people trying to transform their business? Be prepared to throw away your legacy.
Well, I think if you don't think about disrupting your own business first and not trying and hoping to try and hold on to your legacy business, if you're hoping to hold on to your legacy business, I just don't think you can grow.
Fantastic. Well, I think we're out of time. Parry, thank you very much for your insight. Really interesting to hear about Bloomberg. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks.